What's going on, everybody? It's Sinistcha, and welcome to another episode of our tier list series. What better episode to have on Halloween Day than Ghost type? If you guys don't know what we're doing, basically a while back I made a tier list video and with ranking all the typings from least to best, and I've been going one by one through all the typings from my least favorite to absolute most favorite, and today we got Ghost type. And if you're new to the tier list series in general, the tiers go as such. It goes goated, stupid good, okay, meh, and trash. Down here we have an extra one called not ghost, what the fuck. That's because Arceus and Sableye aren't ghost types naturally. You have to have an item for them to be ghost type. They are naturally normal type. If you want to see where these guys got ranked, be sure to check out my normal type Pokemon tier list. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, time for the OG, Gastly. Gastly is an okay Pokemon. Gas is okay, Ghost Poison, good typing, got Levitate, really good ability. All the weaknesses of Poison are now gone. Not the best move pool, not gonna lie to you. It's kind of rough training a Gastly, honestly. But as well as many of these tier list videos that I've made, I found out that you don't really get one Pokemon because of it. Some Pokemon you get for their evolution, so in this case you don't get a Gastly for a Gastly, you get Gastly for Gengar. Next up, Haunter. Haunter is stupid good. I fucking love Haunter. Again, Levitate, that poison type, no weakness. It's only weak to Ghost and Dark. Pretty good stats overall, not the bulkiest, but it's okay. And it has the exact same moves as Gengar. So honestly, you can go with either a Haunter or a Gengar. It's pretty good Pokemon. Gengar is goated. Gengar is one of the best ghost types of all time. One of the OG ghosts, super bulky, hits super hard, especially. They got rid of his Levitate in Gen 7. Made him a little less than what he was, but still a really good ghost type. Hits hard, real diverse moveset. I really like Gengar. Mega Gengar, goated. Mega Gengar is one of the coolest looking megas of all time. Phases in and out between dimensions. He's so gnarly. He hits like a fucking truck. The event Gengar, I so wish I had gotten the event Gengar. So wish I had gotten the event Gengar. The event Gengar is so good. It was in Ubers because it had Sludge Wave instead of Sludge Bomb, which hits everything on the field. It's insane. Such a good ghost type. Really love it. Gmax Gengar is also goated, but I don't like it as much as regular Gengar or Mega Gengar. It is cool though. Again, way better stats than Gengar, obviously because it's Gmax. But I like the lore of it. I like the fact that this Gengar acts as a portal to the underworld. It's literally the gate to the underworld. I really like it. So it's one of the few exceptions to Gmax's being really cool. I like this thing. Misdreavus. Misdreavus, honestly, is kind of meh. The only ghost type introduced in Gen 2 wasn't really worth it. Misdreavus doesn't really hit any sort of hard whatsoever. It's one of those Pokemon where thank God it got an evolution. Otherwise, this thing would never see the light of day. You don't really get a Misdreavus or a Misdreavus. You get Misdreavus from Mismagius. Galarian Corsola. If I'm not mistaken, this thing is pure ghost. Could be ghost water. I think it's pure ghost. I don't think this thing was on our water type tier list. It's okay. It's okay. Basically, you can take Corsola and make a ghost type, give it stab ghost type moves, and that's what you got. Not the best in terms of ghost types, but it does have an evolution, so you don't really get Corsola for Corsola. You get Corsola for Galarian Cursola. Sableye is a stupid good Pokemon. Such a good Hacksmon. It has Prankster. You put Thunder Wave. You put Will-O-Wisp on this thing. You put Yawn or Hypnosis on this thing. It's hitting every Hacks move you could possibly think of. Very annoying Pokemon to deal with, but also pretty good. It's a stupid good Pokemon. What do you want? Mega Sableye is also stupid good. I really like this Pokemon. It's such a weird inclusion to get a Mega. I don't think Sableye really warranted a Mega, but it's here. Kind of looks like he literally looks like if you took Stitch and dyed him purple. That's what he looks like. I don't know why it has this big ass gem. I don't know where he gets that from when he Mega evolves, but it's whatever. But yeah, I really like this thing. It does everything that a Sableye can do, and just with better stats. It's essentially what it does. Shuppet is another okay Pokemon. Shuppet's another okay Pokemon. Okay stats. Kind of in the same boat as Gastly, where it's kind of hard to train. Not as, rough, because it only gets one evolution, so they have to make this one's stats a little bit more worth it. But you don't really get Shuppet for Shuppet. You get Shuppet for Banette. Banette's another stupid good Pokemon. I really like Banette. I think Banette's one of the creepiest Pokemon they've ever made. Banette is so cool. It's like It's a doll that got cast out. It's like, oh, I don't, you know, the whole Andy from Toy Story, I don't want to play with you anymore. So he's just like, fuck that shit. Your soul is mine, bitch. And just suck the soul out of him. And Banette is such a cool Pokemon. I love this thing. Mega Banette. Mega Banette, dude. Mega Banette is so fucking cool. I love Mega Banette. So fucking gnarly. Stats are pretty good. Hits like a goddamn truck. This is, like I said, Banette was one of the creepiest Pokemon the Pokemon's ever created. Mega Banette, so much creepier. Look at the light emitting from Mega Banette. The underglow, making him look more menacing and shit. Oh man, I love Mega Banette. Mega Banette is such a good Pokemon. Duskull. Duskull's okay. Duskull's okay. The stats aren't quite there, but it's probably the best of what we have in okay right now. It's a good Pokemon, but with Duskull, you don't really get Duskull for Duskull, you get Duskull for Dusknoir. Dusclops is, he's another okay Pokemon. You stop an Evilat on this thing, he's gonna live for a while. He gets a pretty good moveset, pretty good stats, kind of bulky. I don't really use Dusclops for Dusclops though. The second I'm able to evolve him into a Dusknoir, I do. So he's an okay. You don't really get Dusclops for Dusclops, you get him for Dusknoir. Drifblim, honestly kind of meh. In my opinion, Drifblim goes flying. So you have the weakness to ice, you have the weakness to electric. Its stats are honestly pitiful. I get it, it's a balloon, right? You know, you take a little needle and that sucker's popping. But its stats aren't there. So you don't really get a Drifblim for Drifblim, you get Drifblim for Drifblim. Drifblim is stupidly good. Like, I'm surprised how good Drifblim actually is. Super bulky, hits like a truck. You put Omnis Wind on this thing, it's taking lives. You put Aerial Cutter on this thing, it's taking lives. It gets Thunderbolt for some reason. I don't know why it gets Thunderbolt, but it does. Such a good Pokemon to use. It's a really good Pokemon. I really like this thing. Mismagius is also stupid good. I like Mismagius. I'm gonna put it behind Haunter. I like the design better than Haunter, but the thing about Mismagius is that it doesn't get any moveset. All of its moves comes from Misdreavus. And Misdreavus doesn't get anything worthwhile until like the upper 60s. So even though once you get the moves on it, it's stupid good, I can't feel like I can put it anything higher because of that. It's such a pain to get those moves without like the move relearner or something like that. And even then, you have to find the item the move relearner wants to get that move back. And you have to get Misdreavus leveled up to where it was supposed to learn that move as a Misdreavus. So for that reason, it's still stupid good Pokemon, but it's on the lower end of super good. Spiritomb, Spiritomb's okay. Spiritomb's okay. Ghost, or is it? No, it's Ghost Dark. So I think its only real weakness is Ghost. I don't think Dark resists Ghost. I know Ghost Dark is a really good typing. Its biggest weakness is Fairy, but Ghost Dark, I really like the lore behind this thing. It just doesn't do a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like, Ghost types are either they either inflict you with status ailments or they just hit so fucking hard. It does a little bit of both, but because it does a little bit of both, it doesn't really like, it's jack of all trades, master of none, essentially. So for that reason, Spiritomb is an okay. Dusknoir, goated. Such a good Pokemon. Such a cool ass Pokemon. It's like a genie. It's pure ghost, I believe. It just, oh, it hits so hard. I'm so glad Dusclops got this evolution. I'm not gonna say it was needed, but it's a welcome addition. It's such a good Pokemon. Froslass is stupid good. Ghost Ice. I'm glad that they got this. I think it made Snorunt slightly more relevant just because Glalie is just a bomb, essentially. But it's in stupid good. I'm actually going to put it a little bit behind in stupid good because it is frail. It is a glass cannon. It can't take hits to save its life, but it hits super hard. So for that reason, it's still in stupid good, just not far in stupid good. You know what I mean? Giratina, goated. Giratina's goated. Ghost Dragon, the literal Satan Pokemon that they missed a huge. I know that they didn't have over 600 Pokemon at the time of 4th Gen's release, but they missed the mark on making it 666. Anyway, the Satan Pokemon discarded to the other dimension by Arceus. Just, oh, it's such a cool Pokemon. It hits like a guy because it's a box art legendary. Of course, it's gonna hit like a fucking truck. That's why he's in goated. He's such a cool Pokemon. His alternate form, I can't remember what it's called, but essentially, one's bulky, One's offensive. This one with the legs is more bulk. Or no, I think one's special, one's offensive. This one's offensive. The one with the legs is special. Either way, I don't care. They could literally just be like, oh, this is for like cosmetic reasons only. I like this one better. That's literally it. I like the design of this one better. So much cooler. Yamask. Yamask is kind of meh, honestly. Yamask is meh. Just, it doesn't hit hard. Doesn't do a whole lot. It's, you know what I mean? It's just there. You don't really get a Yamask from Yamask. You get it for Cofagrigus. Same thing with Galarian Yamask, man. It's slightly better. I like Galarian Yamask design better. I like the purple eye. It kind of looks like a shiny Yamask. So I like it better. But again, just like Yamask, you don't really get Galarian Yamask for Galarian Yamask. You get it for Runerigus. Cofagrigus is stupid good. I really like Cofagrigus. Gets Mummy. So if it hits a Pokemon or a Pokemon hits it, its ability, if it's broken, gone. Hits okay. It's not really stats wise, it's not quite there, but you know, it's still a really good Pokemon. It's a Final Evolution. It's kind of like on the tail end for Final Evolutions, you know what I mean? But still a really good Pokemon. I like it. Frillish, I believe one is special or one is physical, one's defensive. Frillish is kind of meh. Its stats aren't quite there. Water Ghost, I think these are literally like ghosts of people who died at sea. So they're kind of mad. Their stats aren't there. The movesets aren't quite there. But you don't really get Frillish for Frillish. You get Frillish for Jellicent. Jellicent, in terms of ghost types, are okay. Jellicents are okay. There are better ghost types out there. It's Water Ghost. I don't think we have a Water Ghost other than these guys. So that's pretty cool. But it's like I said, there's better ghost types out there. They're okay. They're not a bad choice. But there are clearly better choices out there. Litwick is, let me pull my mic down. Litwick is, Litwick's meh. Litwick's kind of meh. Its stats aren't there. Its moveset is okay. Ghost Fire, a very unique typing. I think it's the only Ghost Fire we have. But I found with Litwick, you don't get Litwick for Litwick. You get Litwick for Chandelure. Lantern, or Lantern's the water. What is this thing called? Is that Chandelure? Either way, it's okay. It's an okay Pokemon. Still, Ghost Fire. Its stats are better, but honestly, it's not best to keep it this. You really want to evolve this into a Chandelure. Chandelure, goated. It's goated. It's one of the best ghost types out there. Hits like a goddamn truck, bulky as shit, Ghost Fire. You put a Flamethrower on this thing, everything's dying. You put a Shadow Ball on this thing, everything's dying. You put a Hex on this thing, everything's dying. You put a Will-O-Wisp, everything's dying. You put Curse on this thing, everything's dying. It's, nothing is living past Chandelure, okay? It's such a good ghost type. Golett is okay. Golett's okay. Ghost Ground, real bulky, real slow, but it doesn't have to be fast because it hits like a fucking truck. Golett's an okay Pokemon to have. But you don't really keep a Golett for Golett. You get Golett for Golurk. Golurk, I think, is stupidly good. I really like Golurk. Ghost Ground. It hits pretty hard. It hits not as hard as you would think. You think this thing's attack stat would be sky fucking high, but it's not. It's not anything like too crazy. But it's still a really good Pokemon. Again, Ghost Ground. Pretty sure it's our first Ghost Ground, if I'm not mistaken. We have more now. But immune to electric types, hits really hard. You put Shadow Punch on this thing, everything's dying. So it goes in stupid good. I like it. Honedge, Steel Ghost is okay. Honedge is an okay Pokemon. Ghost Steel, like I mentioned earlier. Its attack stat's pretty high. Its defenses are pretty abysmal though. But you don't really get Honedge for Honedge. You get Honedge for Aegislash. Doublade is surprisingly good for what it is. You slap an Evilite on this thing, it's not going to die. It's a lot bulkier than Honedge. Hits a lot harder too. But still, you don't want to stop with... You could stop with Honedge. Honedge is a good Pokemon to... Or Dual Blade, sorry. Dual Blade is a good Pokemon to stop at, but you don't really want to stop there. You want to keep going to Aegislash. Aegislash, another goated Pokemon. The King stance and the Fighting stance. I forget what the Fighting stance is called. But basically in this form, its defenses are higher. In this form, its offenses are higher. It has King Shield, which protects you against any move. You also get Protect. You also get Shadow Claw. You get Ghost Sneak with this, or Shadow Sneak with this thing. It's a monster overall. It's in Ubers for a reason. It's such a good Pokemon. Phantump. Phantump, it's kind of meh, honestly. Phantump's kind of meh. Its stats aren't there. It's not... With Phantump, you don't really get a Phantump for Phantump. You want to get Phantump for Trevenant. Trevenant is okay. Ghost Grass. I really like the lore of this thing. It's not the best ghost type out there. It's a good ghost type, don't get me wrong. If you want something different, I highly recommend Trevenant. But its stats aren't to snuff to put it in stupid good. It's Ghost Fire, weak to Bug, weak to Fire, weak to Dark. There's a lot of stuff that can handle this thing. And there's a lot of stuff that can also take this thing as well. Like, it's not good against. So, it's an okay. I really like it, but it's an okay. Pumpkaboo is also okay. Pumpkaboo's okay. Again, another grass ghost, but this one's a lot bulkier. Also, it's a lot harder, surprisingly, and it comes in different sizes, just like regular pumpkins. You can get small to large, and I think depending on the size, depends on how bulky this thing is. But you don't really want to stop at Pumpkaboo. You want to get to a Gourgeist. Gourgeist is surprisingly stupid good. Like, there's not a reason for this thing to be as good as it is. Again, ghost grass, just like Trevenant, but it's better. It's a better ghost grass type. It's bulkier, it hits harder. It's not faster, but again, you don't need to be when you tank hits and hit hard. That's literally what it boils down to. It's a good Pokemon. Sandygast is also meh. I can't put it in trash when Phantump's in meh, so I'm gonna put it in meh too. Ghost Ground, its stats aren't really there. Moveset, kind of trash until it gets to the later levels, not gonna lie. But you don't get Sandygast for Sandygast. You want to get Sandygast for Pilosand. Pilosand is another stupidly good Pokemon. Like, it's stupid good. Ghost Ground, super tanky, hits like a truck, not fast, but again, doesn't need to be whenever you tank hits and hit hard. Shadow Ball on this thing is annihilating people. Earthquake on this thing, annihilating people. Shadow Sneak, annihilating people. It's insane just how good this Pokemon is. I really like it. Mimikyu is also stupid good. Ghost Fairy, really good typing combination. It's a decoy ability. I forget what it's called, but like where he tanks one hit and doesn't lose any HP. That's a really good ability. It gets access to a Shadow Sneak, Play Rough, Z Splash. This thing made Splash viable in Gen 7. It's so funny that they made Splash viable in Pokemon. I never thought I would live to see the day, but here we are. Really good Pokemon. I really like it. Dhelmise, Grass Ghost, is also okay. Also okay. Again, I said this in my grass type tier list. This Pokemon's weird. This is a very strange Pokemon. Because there's something about it to make it to where it technically has like 3 types, if I'm not mistaken. Or it's like Ghost, Grass, and Water. But like, it's a weird Pokemon. I'm not really sure what this thing is able to do. I just know from where people talk about it, it's not the greatest pick. Because you see what it's fighting against. But it's not a bad pick either. I really like it. Marshadow. As a Pokemon, this thing is stupid good. It's a really good Pokemon. As my interaction with it is from the movie, and Marshadow was just a dick for no reason. Marshadow was a dick for no reason. It just kind of like followed Ash around in the I Choose You movie, and the moment that it could like gain immense power to like take shit, to fuck shit up, it did. We don't know why it did. It just did. And so it just about took everybody out. But again, it's a really good Pokemon. Hits really hard. Ghost fighting. I don't think we have another ghost fighting out there. So it's a really unique type and combination. Fighting really helps its dark type weakness. It's a good Pokemon. It belongs in stupid good. Blacephalon, Ghost Fire is goated. It's goated. Like you can't. It's an Ultra Beast, so its stats are stacked sky fucking high. It's Ghost Fire. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really know if people use this as like a setup mon or like all out offensive with like Flamethrower and Shadow Ball and all that good stuff. Because I never used one. I played Shield, and back in the day I didn't have a way to get Blacephalon. I need to use this thing at some point, but yeah, because it's an Ultra Beast, why would it not go and goated? Sinistcha, kind of trash. Sinistcha's kind of trash. Its stats aren't up to snuff. It's pure Ghost, if I'm not mistaken. It does have a unique like thing with it where it's like it's a ghost that haunts a teacup, right? And there'll be a sticker on it if it's an authentic teacup from back in the day, and there'll be a no sticker if it's a fake, if it's a copy, which makes this thing like you try to hunt down the authentic one. And it's a unique Pokemon, but its stats aren't really there. You want to get Sinistcha for Sinistcha. You get Sinistcha for Polteageist. Polteageist is okay. I like Polteageist. I never used one, but I know a lot of people really like this thing. Pure Ghost, and again, it has the same concept as Sinistcha, where the teapot that it's in, it could be a fake, a replica, or it can be the real deal, depending on if it has a sticker on it or not. But based on that concept alone, I think it's okay. I don't think this thing really does much outside of like hit hard, Oonga Boonga beat stick, but it's an okay Pokemon. It's an okay choice. Cursola, Pure Ghost, especially offensive, especially defensive. Physical stats aren't quite there. I know this thing's low-key stupid good. Like, this thing's surprisingly good. I think it surprised a lot of people just how good this Pokemon really is. I don't know much about its moveset. I know its stats, but I don't really know its moveset, so I'm taking people's word for it. If people are saying this thing is a diamond in the rough, I'm gonna call it a diamond in the rough. Runerigus, I really like this Pokemon. I like this Pokemon a lot more than Cofagrigus. I like this Pokemon. It's a Ghost Ground, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Ghost Ground or Ghost Rock. I can't remember which. I'm 99% sure it's Ghost Ground. I like the point of it where you have to take Yamask to a specific spot and to evolve it. I like that. It hits hard as shit. I just really like this Pokemon. This Pokemon's so cool. I think it's so much better than Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus is cool, but Runerigus it's so much cooler. Dreepy is kind of meh. Not gonna lie, Dreepy's kind of meh. Ghost Dragon. It's a very weak dragon type Pokemon, but it's our first Ghost Dragon that isn't a legendary. And I think that its stats just aren't to snuff, but you don't really get Dreepy for Dreepy. You get Dreepy for Dracopult. Dracloak, whatever you want to call it, is okay. Just okay. Has higher stats than Dreepy, obviously. Put an Eevee on this thing, it can be kind of bulky. Put a Choice Band on this thing, it hit pretty hard. But you're not really getting Dracloak for Dracloak. You're getting Dracloak for Dracopult. Dracopult is surprisingly stupidly good. Or not stupidly good, but goated. Like, this thing hits like a goddamn truck. Ghost Dragon still. It's kind of a bad father. You know, you launch your children at the enemy. That's not the best thing, but they're already dead, so who cares? Hits like a goddamn truck, especially offensive mostly. Shadow Sneak, Shadow Ball, Dragon Pulse. Nothing's living from any of that from this thing. Spectrier, Pure Ghost. I'm gonna be real. I have not used just Spectrier. I've used the fusion one with him, and I can't remember that other Pokemon that you put on here. I haven't played a lot of the 8th Gen, if you can't tell. I haven't played 8th Gen Story a bunch of times like I have other games. But it's a legendary, so I'm gonna put it in the back of Goated. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Ice one is slightly better than this one, but I like Ghost types, so I chose this one for obvious reasons. And that right there is going to be our Ghost type Pokemon tier list. As always, this is the most accurate Pokemon tier list, and all the tier lists are in fact wrong. But if you think I got something wrong, or you think the Pokemon is missing on this tier list, be sure to let me know down in the comments down below. If you want to see any of my non-Pokemon related content, be sure to check out my second channel, Notification, where I post my non-Pokemon related content. If you want to see me stream both Pokemon and non-Pokemon related content, be sure to check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/SuperNub796. If you miss any of my live streams, be sure to check out SuperNub VODs, basically, unless your partner Twitch does not like saving your VODs. So, and whenever I'm done streaming, I pluck the VODs from Twitch and I put them onto YouTube. If you want to see me post anything and everything, be sure to check out my TikTok, SuperNub796 over on TikTok. If you want to see me post my garbage opinions, be sure to check out SuperNub796 on Twitter. And finally, if you want to check out any of my memes, or you want to talk about discussions about E3 Direct, Nintendo Directs, all that other stuff, be sure to check out my Discord. It's a good time. We have laughs down there. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up today's video here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel, helps me as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy Halloween. See ya.
Take bars, little man.